So as it's the best time of year for oud fragrances, I've put together my top 5 for 2019, so join me for 5 crackers in just a second. So welcome back, you're watching the Luxury Fragrance Plus channel. My name's Scott, of course I am the Luxury Fragrance Plus. Thank you so much for joining me for another one of my top 5s. As I said, today I've got 5 absolute banging oud fragrances for you, which I cannot wait to get started on. So for this top 5, I wanted to keep a little bit of variation. I didn't want them all to be like oud from different houses. So I've picked like a nice little variation out here. I hope you're going to enjoy. I mean, I enjoy absolutely every single one of these because they are absolutely stunning fragrances. Let's kick off first of all with probably the most well-known one that I'm going to pick out. Don't worry, you're not going to see Royal Oud or Interlude or anything like that in this top 5. As I said, this is for 2019. Those are my older fragrances, so I'm picking out the best of what I've sort of really found over the last year. First of all, we've got Acqua de Parma's Colonia Oud. Sorry, I'm struggling with the camera there. This one here, if you're looking for a sort of a beautiful clean oud, this is generally the place to go. This one smells like a very, very expensive office. If you imagine sort of dark mahogany or sort of dark wooden furniture with like leather upholstery and stuff like that, all freshly varnished, and you just walk in, you know, you've got that sort of beautiful sort of new woody smell. That's exactly what you're getting with this one. And it's got some really nice freshness to it. This is one of the few ouds that you can sort of wear all the year round as well, because of those sort of those citrusy notes that Acqua de Parma like to put in the top of every single one of their fragrances, which is pretty much their trademark, those citrus notes in the top notes. But yeah, this one, if you are looking for a really, really clean oud, and generally women love this one as well. I know my wife loved this one. I know a few of the girls that I work with actually own this one as well. So women really do women are sort of driven towards this one. But yeah, it's a very, I'd say it's a much more manly scent than it is feminine. However, yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful clean oud. So my number 5 is Acqua de Parma's Colonia Oud. Now let's move into number 4. I could go with either of these 2 fragrances. I'm not going to go with this one though. This one is called Oud from Terence Hughes, this one right here. The reason I'm not going with this one though is because this one does add, I mean the one that this is most similar to, I would say, or I've compared it to in the past, is Acqua de Parma's Oud. If you take out, I mean really take off that citrusy top and you've got pretty much a very, very beautiful oud left over. Now with the rose that's in this one as well, it really pumps out. This one's got a lot of projection to it, a lot of strength. This is one that you're going to wake up the next morning, you're still going to be able to smell all over your skin. However, as I said, I'm not going for this one. The one I'm going to go for is a little bit different, which is Tobacco Oud and Vanilla from Aaron himself. This is my favorite from the house and I absolutely love this fragrance. I mean, I love tobacco vanilla fragrances, but the oud in this one just gives it a much more unique kind of smell, and it also really amps up that projection and up that power as well. This is one of the longest lasting tobacco vanillas, and it's also the strongest tobacco vanilla I've ever tried because of that oud. As I said, that oud really sort of pops out in this one, and it really does lend a very, very unique sort of styling to this type of tobacco vanilla fragrance. I mean, generally, when you think of tobacco vanillas, I mean, off the top of my head, I can only think of Back to Black, even though I recently wore one and I can't think what it was. But yeah, it's, so yeah, but they're generally quite soft fragrances. This one's got a lot of punch to it. So if you are in the UK, I mean, he is shipping as well to the US now as well, based on a minimum spend, but if you can get your hands on his discovery set, I'd definitely do it. Those are my 2 favorites from the house. He's also got a chocolate rose and oud as well, which is beautiful, and then you can sort of blend them together as well. So but yeah, definitely check out his discovery set if you do get a chance. So in number 4, we've got Tobacco Oud and Vanilla from House of Terence Hughes. Now, if you are enjoying the video as well, my top 5 so far, make sure you give me a good thumbs up, and also put in the comment section as well. I'd love to hear from you, your top 5 ouds for 2019. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already as well, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and also might as well hit that notification bell while you're at it so you never miss another video. So into the top 3 then. It's really hard for me to choose from these 3 that I've got. I'm going to go to the house of Bortnikoff though. Many of you know that I recently got, where's it gone? This one right here, Musk Khabib. This is not the one I'm going to be talking about though. The one I'm talking about is Oud Monarch. Now, Musk Khabib is my favorite from the house, but it's very, very closely followed by Oud Monarch. This one, well, I'd love to show you a full bottle. Unfortunately, I've just got the sample. At the time, I had to choose, well, I was very, very fortunate that after doing a few reviews of the Bortnikoff fragrances, Dimitri reached out to me and asked me if I'd like a full bottle. Unfortunately, I would have loved to have bought Oud Monarch as well, but he offered me one full bottle, so I went for Musk because that was my absolute favourite. However, this is a very, very close second. This one, if you're looking for something like really warm, I'd say this one's definitely a perfect dating oud because it is warm. It's quite a sexy fragrance. I find this quite similar to Muscovy, which is probably why these are my two favourites from the house. But this one's got some cloves in it. It's got a little bit of tonka bean. You've got some cacao in there. It's kind of like a velvety, chocolatey, yeah, like tonkery oud. It's got quite a sweetness, and you definitely get the cloves and the cinnamon out of this one, but it really is a beautiful sort of warm, sexy oud. So yeah, House of Bortnikoff. I'm not going to go over the full notes of these because I will stick them all. I will stick notes for all of these in the description. So make sure you check out the description. Just before I carry on as well, I just want to say that I do apologise that I haven't been producing as many videos. I think over the last few months I've not been feeling great, and my energy levels have been really low. Very low. On top of that, I've been very, very busy as well. It's only been over the last week that I've actually discovered what was wrong with me. Unfortunately, I'm allergic to our cats, so I've decided the cats are going to go. Actually, I'm only joking. How could I get rid of the adorable little fluff balls that we have? No, I started taking antihistamines this week and I feel so much better. So look forward to much more content, and also let me know as well if you wanna what top fives you want me to do and stuff like that. So on to my number two. Now, my last two come from the same house because this is one house that definitely knows how to produce a stunning oud fragrance. A lot of people will probably put these around the other way. However, I'm going to go with the way that I feel about these. Number two is in my top five of fragrances that I really need to own. And the one I'm talking about is Sahraa Oud. This one right here, which I've just got a sample of. Not the cheapest house to buy from or to become addicted to, and which is quite bad because so many of their fragrances are so good. I know there's so many people that own a lot of these and they've started collecting them. They are not on the cheap side at all. For the 15ml bottles, I think they're £125. I can't remember what they are in the US, but they are worth absolutely every single penny that you pay for them. They may look expensive, but the quality that you're getting from their oud fragrances is absolutely stunning. Now, the reason I put this in number two is because for the first hour in this one, I can't stand it. The reason for that is this has got a really, really harsh, sour, may not be sour to everybody, but really, really harsh, sour rose note to me. I sprayed this on about 35-40 minutes and it's still there. But once that rose settles down, which as I said, takes about 45 minutes to an hour, this one turns absolutely stunning. So smooth, so velvety good. It's a real beautiful creamy oud. The closest thing that I can really sort of think of to describe this as being similar is if you imagine African leather, and if you replace the leather with oud, that's what you've got here. You know that beautiful sort of real creamy, silky smooth leather you get from African leather? Imagine an oud version of that, and that's exactly what Sahraa Oud is. Once that horrible rose note has died down. I know some of you out there love rose, and you are going to love the opening of this one because that's purely all it is all you can smell is sour rose. But yeah, once that rose settles down, it seems to disappear completely because, as you know, I'm not a big fan of rose. I'm finding some rose notes that I like nowadays, but generally I'm not a big fan. But yeah, once the rose disappears on that one, it's absolutely stunning. So in at the number one spot then, as I said, you're probably gonna be able to guess, if you know me well enough by now, you're probably gonna be able to guess which my number one is. As I said, they both come from the same house, and my number one and number two. Of course, it is this absolute stunner here. Nearly dropped it in. My beautiful Oud Violet Intense. This one I just cannot get enough of. This is also my most complimented oud fragrance that I've ever owned as well. It's not the strongest one by any means out of the Fragrance du Bois range or even out of the Shades du Bois. One thing I was so happy to hear about from Fragrance du Bois a little while ago, because I think I put this in a video and I mentioned, I think I said that it had been discontinued, which was a real shame. I'm happy to say that they've actually reintroduced it into the line. So So there was no, because they took it off their website and it seemed to disappear from all the stores. People were asking me about it after I kept posting about it. But yeah, they're reintroducing it. It should be, I think it should be in the stores around now. So look out for it. I know there's a few followers on Instagram as well that went out and they managed to find it and they absolutely fell in love with it as well. I think when this first came out, the reason they discontinued it was because it was kind of overlooked. It's one of those ones that when you first take a sniff of it, it doesn't sort of smell like anything special, but after you wear it for a little while, you absolutely fall in love with it. I think it really got overlooked by like the Oud Verts and the Oud Blurs. Obviously by Sahraa Oud and stuff like that. But yes, this is by far my favourite fragrance, de Bois fragrance that I've smelled so far. I mean, and can you beat this presentation really? It comes in this little packet here. Oh, I'm trying to look in my monitor and everything's back to front. But yeah, in this little packet here, you get a little certificate and it tells you the batch of oud that they use for it. But yeah, and then you've got a little oud chip that comes with it as well. So really, really nicely presented. But yeah, I mean, this is one company that certainly know how to do oud. And as I said, this is one of my most complimented fragrances. Well, definitely my most complimented oud fragrance. In fact, I was only out the other night. I went over a friend's house while my wife's away at the moment. So I went over a friend's house for dinner. Not because I'm lonely or anything like that. I've only got the cats to keep me company. But yeah, I went over a friend's house to dinner and they just said, "Oh my God, what are you wearing tonight?" Both of them, that is. I mean, I'd say out of the whole shade, definitely out of the Shades de Bois one, this is probably the most unisex out of the lot of them. As I said, it's not the strongest, but to me, it's definitely the most beautiful. Let me know if you've had a chance to try Oud Violet. Otherwise, if you want to try it, it's available again. So definitely look out for that one. As I said, in the comments section, I'd love to hear your top fives. Let me know what you enjoyed about the video. Let me know your favourite ouds as well. Let me know if you've got any ideas for me to shoot a top five or anything like that, because I'd always love to get your feedback. If you did enjoy my top five as well, don't forget to give me a nice thumbs up, because it always helps out. Besides that, I guess stay smelling fantastic. I look forward to seeing you very soon, and thank you so much for watching.